have mass adoption of online SME lending, that gap between the 60% of Australian small business owners that need capital and the 20% who apply, that gap will close over time. And what we found in the US is that for every dollar, it's a truly an incremental dollar of loans going into the economy, it winds up with over $3 or creates over $3 in economic output.
I've been overwhelmed in terms of the turnout, not just of industry participants, so the other platforms and the other players, but also you've got banks, you've got partners, you've got investment banks, you've got investment funds, as well as suppliers to the industry as well. And so the first coming together of the marketplace lending industry in Australia, I think has been a phenomenal success.
I think the key things that have come out are probably similar across different geographies actually. It is making sure that credit assessment is done properly and understanding that there will be failures, and it's making sure that actually the regulator is involved, there is a lot of engagement there, and that some of the platforms who do this well, that'll be a defining moment for them and they'll be able to grow through that.
What I'm trying to tease out here is what is it that you're going to need from a next generation platform that you would want to invest in? Because scale is going to be a big issue.
I slightly disagree, and it was something which came out in one of the other sessions earlier, that there are some very good businesses that may not be able to scale as much, but have a very good business that can produce very consistent returns from a decent sized book.
I mean, I think the key take out of today is, from Paul Clitheroe, is that risk does not change, and it hasn't changed decade on decade on decade.
Something will blow up. Not if, it will blow up. I don't care how clever you are, you do not change risk. Risk in shares, risk in property, and risk in mortgages and risks in loans has never changed. Let's not do this again with our new world.
This is a young industry. I haven't actually been in this industry for a very long time. So this is a great learning curve for me. So for that, and talking to people who are at the head of the industry, I think it's fantastic.
So then what is the big growth? What is the big growth potential in Australia? Is it, is it going to be debt consolidation, or is it going to be personal loans for cars or for home improvement? What do you look at when you look at the whole environment here? What's the big opportunity?
I think it's a mix of all those things. Certainly we're seeing, as in the US, high demand and really soaring demand for paying off high interest credit cards. If we look at the credit card market versus the personal loan market, even with a more established personal loan market, credit cards are many times over a multiple of that.
Industry and regulators have a common interest in seeing innovation that fosters investor and consumer trust and confidence. In the absence of these elements, investors will not participate or support innovative businesses, which in the long term means that innovative businesses will not survive.
The conference has been great. I think what's really cool is the market is at a point where everyone can come together now and start having really good conversations. So no, I've met more players here in a very short amount of time than I would have having to go see them individually, and I think some of the ideas being exchanged are excellent.